Hello friends, welcome back to Invest with Ara. Hope you like my videos. Today on the request of many users, we'll be pulling futures data of respective indexes and stocks onto an Excel spreadsheet. So we'll be taking this session a little faster because most of the programming is similar to what we have done earlier. Today I'll be pulling about 5 stocks futures data. So let's begin. First we go to the NSE India website, we go to live market, equity derivatives, option chain, and now you could see here futures contract. We simply click on futures contract and then copy. We go to the Excel workbook and on sheet 1, row 1 of column A, we'll type in URL and copy paste the URL that we had copied, and onto row 1 of column B we simply type the name of the stock. Now if we analyze the URL, we could see here that the URL contains only a dynamic character called this value Nifty. So if we have to go for a stock called Infosys, we simply need to change the word Nifty to NFI. So what we'll do is we'll simply copy this URL, okay, and wherever we need the name of the stock or whatever stock we need, we simply change the name. So I need Bank Nifty here, so I'll put Bank Nifty here. Say if I take Infosys, so I'll put an NFI here, enter, and say Wipro and say Reliance. Okay, so my second stock or index was Bank Nifty, this was Infosys, this was Wipro, and this was Reliance. Okay, so this is done. First part is done. Now we need to record a macro, but before that we need to change the name of the sheet 1. So we'll change the name to FUT data, and we'll make sure that we have this URL copied. Now we go to now for recording a macro we need a developer tab here. So this is actually Microsoft Excel 2013. So for that we click on file, we go to options, and under customize ribbon we could see here developer tab. So we click on developer and click OK. So you could see the developer tab here. Now we are about to start the recording of the macro. So we'll click on developer, we will click on record macro. Now it is asking us to provide a name, so we'll put pull future data and click on OK. So now the macro has started recording. Now we go to data to pull the data from the website. We click on from web, we simply delete this part of the URL, and here we paste the URL that we had copied and click on go. Now here actually there is a problem. Whenever you try to hover your mouse onto this region, it gives you a script error every time, so it becomes a little frustrating. So for that, instead of using mouse pointer, we'll have to use the keyboard. So we simply press enter. Now press tab, only a single tab. You could see that yellow box turning into green, and press enter. Okay, now go to options. Now in this program we don't need any sort of rich formatting, or so we'll take none here. Then we go to disable date recognition and press space. You only need to use up and down arrow or tab for this. And again disable web query redirections, and again space bar. Now we need to press enter, then use your mouse pointer to click on OK, again press enter and OK, again press enter. Now simply take your mouse out of this region, now press enter, and now take your mouse to the import button and click on import. Now you could see the import data tab. First thing is to go to properties and take this refresh every 60-minute box. We don't need the cell formatting, so we'll simply remove this preserve cell formatting and click on OK. Because here there is no additional sheet available, we'll simply want the program to be on the new worksheet, so we'll take this new worksheet here and click on OK. So our futures data is copied to Excel workbook. Now there are certain data that we don't require, so we'll start deleting this. So we don't need this, delete. Okay, we'll merge this part. I'll go to home and merge. We don't need this row, so again delete. Now we'll try to align this with all borders, and we'll select a comma style, then double click here so that every numbers are visible, and now press Ctrl F, replace. We'll be replacing the dashes with zeros, so we'll put in find word dash and click on options and match entire cell contents with 0 and replace all. So we have made 6 replacements. Okay, and then close. So our most of the part for alignment as well as pulling the data is done. Now we go to the main worksheet, that is future data, and go to developer tab and simply stop the recording. Coding part is complete. Now we only need to edit the macro. So before that we need to delete this sheet. So we delete this sheet. Now we go to macro and we are going to edit the macro with the codes. Now these codes are similar to our previous one, so feel free to copy that here. So we'll start coding for x equal to 1 to 5, because I have taken 5 stocks of 5. I'll want the worksheets future data to be the main sheet to be selected. So I'll type in future data dot select. Again I want the sheet to be activated, so again worksheet fut data dot activate. Now I'll define the string. I'll say my URL, and within inverted commas I'll type in the URL that we had copied of Nifty's future. Then I want the program to take the value stored in row 1 of column A. Now we will be defining a new loop to rename the sheets to the corresponding index or stock names. So for that I'll define them URL as integer, URL as string, I as integer. I'll start a for loop I equal to x to x. So URL will be equal to cells dot I comma x I comma 2 dot value. This I'll end the for loop for I next with a next I, and now I need to add worksheets every time. So I'll put in this code worksheets dot add after equal to worksheets bracket worksheets dot count dot name equal to URL. Now we ought to delete this part, so we'll delete this part. Now we don't need this URL. Instead we need to put the string that we had actually made. So I'll type in my URL. It's done. We don't need this command type. it will give you an error, so please delete this. It's actually done now. So we'll end the for loop for x as well with next x. Now here our programming is almost complete and we need to check the program. So before that we'll put in a button here, say press Alt and drag the mouse pointer and align or assign this button with this macro. Now we need to edit text here, so we'll simply put in pull futures data. So it's the button is done. So before testing the macro, we need to save the macro into its respective format. So we'll save as, we'll save onto desktop, future data pull, and we'll change the format to macro enable workbook and click save. Now we need to check our program whether it's working fine or not. We'll be having errors. Previously I used to skip the error part. If we have errors, we'll work on that as well. So we click on pull futures data. So here you could see that Nifty, Bank Nifty, Infosys, Wipro and Reliance data has been pulled. We only need to verify whether the data pulled are correct or not. So we'll take Wipro, we'll see whether its last price was this or not. So we go to NSE India website, we go to option chain and we type in here Wipro, go futures contract. Now first here is 286.5, 287.85 and 288.3. 286.5, 87.85 and 88.3. So our data is verified and our program for pulling futures data is complete. So if any of you have any other queries in regards to this, can write to me in the comment section below. Please do not forget to like and share the video. Thank you.